Jackie Ballhead from Compin Stampers. Today I have a SIP card for you. Stamps, ink, and paper. That's all we're going to use. And we're using a stamp set called Thankful Garden that's super versatile. It was actually the set that was featured last month for my Bundle of the Month class. So I've got some other samples to share with you, but we are going to use it today to make some simple, quick, and easy cards just using stamps, ink, and paper. So let's go ahead, flip the camera down, and let's get crafting. So here's a peek at the stamp set, Thankful Gardens, and this does come as a bundle with dies and masks so you can color using your blending brushes, which is what we did last month in our class. Now this month, I want to use just the stamp set. If you are a newer stamper or you don't like die cutting and all that fancy stuff, and you just like making quick and easy cards, the perfect stamp set for it. You can color these images, whether you want Stampin' Blends or watercoloring, or just leave them stamped, which is what we're going to do today because we're super simple today. All we're using are stamps, ink, and paper. Now I have several tips I want to share with you that are tips that I actually shared back when I did the Card Making 101 class. So if you followed along, you probably will remember these tips. But if you're new to following me or you just found this video, hopefully these are tips that you will like to make your stamping quick and easy. So our card base, we always start with an 8.5 by 11, and I like to score it first. Okay, so we're going to put it in our trimmer here at 4 1/4, give it a good score line, and then I'm going to turn it around and cut it at 5 1/2. So by doing that, I actually made 2 card bases that are complete, scored, ready to fold at one time. So let me grab the bone folder. Okay, and we're gonna just go ahead. I like to use the bone folder always just to get some nice crisp edges in there. And remember, when you've scored the bumpy side, okay, here's an indent, here's a bump, the bumpy goes in. Okay, so we're gonna just go ahead and do that. So I'm ready to make 2 cards. Now with the stamp that I'm gonna use for this, again, I just wanna stamp it, put a greeting on it. Well, if you're not real sure what size layers, okay, I've got mine cut here already, but I started out by playing with my templates. Now we made these back in 101 as well, and I have all the measurements. So I'll have a link in the video description that'll take you to that Card Making 101 series. And over there you can find all the tips about cutting cardstock and layers and all the layering measurements. So the whole idea behind these templates is, and I got some of them here, I don't have the whole stack of them here, but when you go to make a card and you want to say have a focal layer and you want to have a layer underneath it, you can play around to kind of figure out what size. Okay, that's a nice card design, a nice size there. Or maybe we want to go down to a couple bigger ones here. Now don't pay attention, that's not the right color. But, do we want something a little bit bigger, like so? Or do you want to play around and have, some bigger borders? Okay, a 1/4 inch border there, which actually gives you an 1/8 inch border. But do you want something a little bit bigger like that? So the templates are great. I always just have them sitting on my desk when I'm not sure what size I want to do to play around with those. But I've cut these already. Let's see, we're 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. Now actually all these measurements will be on the blog post that goes with this video. So that link will be in the video description as well. So you can just hop over there and get all the measurements, the details, the supply list, everything for what we're using today. Okay, let's start with our memento. Now with this one, this is my black. Okay, because this is a pretty small layer, I want to stamp my black sentiment first. Okay, I love using black for my sentiments, probably 99% of the time that's what I do, but I wanted to stamp it first to make sure I had room for it. Okay, I wanted it down in that bottom right. Then we're going to take this big beautiful flower. I love this stamp, and we're using Melon Mambo because it just stamps so pretty in that. And we're going to come off the side here. Let's see, I was trying to not, will it fit? Oh, I think it will fit. We're going to go right there. I didn't want it to go over my words because this is pretty dark color. Okay, and we want that black to really pop. So there we go. Look at how simple this is, but it truly makes an easy card. So let's grab the adhesive. And like I said, you could have stamped, or I could have stamped it in black and colored it I could die cut it, and I'll show you a couple other examples here when I'm done with this one. But let's see, let's just put that like so. And then, you know me, we need dimensionals. So let's grab those, and we'll go ahead and just pop this layer up like so. Now for this one, let's see. Whenever I have a colored base, I always like to put a piece of white in the inside. So let's put that right there. Look at, super simple, but how pretty that is. Okay, let me grab our inside piece. And we always want that inside to be pretty too. So with the words on this one, thankful for you as a friend, I'm just going to use this card to write something in the inside, a little message. So I don't really have a sentiment, but I like to just stamp something on the inside. Otherwise, it's just kind of plain, boring white. So let's go ahead and we will just stick that right there. And look at how simple that card was, but how pretty it is. Okay. That's what we refer to as a SIP card. Stamps, ink, and paper. That's the only thing I used on it. Now, let me pull in some other samples that I want to share with you. You know, sometimes I think we get too wrapped up in we need lots of layers and cutting and embellishments, but you know what? Simple is great. So here's the one we made. Here are two others that are note cards that I made. So the layering sizes are a little bit different. I'll have all these measurements over on that blog post as well. All pictures of all the ones I'm going to share and the measurements for you. So I had to adjust the measurements a little bit, but I stamped it the same way. Okay, here's this one. Looks very similar to that. And then this is using the other stamp that's in the stamp set. So super simple. Then these two, and why don't we look at them this way? I stepped it up just a little bit. It's still a note card, same layering, but this time the flower I stamped it on a piece of scrap paper and die cut it so I could pop it up with some dimensionals. Now these are colored using the a blending brush and the masks, okay? They're like stencil masks. And for these two, I only used one of the masks. It's a set of 3, which you'll see here in a second. But I just used one just to put light color on there. I didn't want to go through, you know, all of them to get the shading. I just wanted that one simple color. So there's those. And you can see how those two are the same. And let's see. Gosh, so many cards. Oh, I got it right in my hand. But here, this one's the same. Okay. So there's that version. Now, I mentioned the Bundle of the Month class last month. That was a tutorial that had 8 different cards, all with video tutorials, all different designs, using the masks. Some you don't use the masks, some color with Stampin' Blends, a ton of tips. If you miss getting that tutorial as a freebie with an order from me, it is available to purchase over on my website. So if you like these products, it's a great, great tutorial for the versatility. This month, we have a different tutorial that uses a different stamp set. I can't think right offhand what it is, but it is a free tutorial. This month, beginning on April 15th, we'll have a new video class releasing using the Textured Notes bundle. So watch for that. Okay, a couple more cards just to share with you. Let's see, let's go with this one first. This is just the very basic stamped, die cut, and use the masks, all 3 of them for the flowers, and I think it's just 2 for the leaves, but that just shows you how you can get all the different coloring and shading in there. It's so easy and so fun. I love using masks. Now, this one, I did something just a little bit different. I stamped on the cardstock here and just used the one mask, or 2, 1 for each, but just to put a little bit of subtle color there. And then I stamped again on scrap paper because there is a die that will cut out just the one flower. That one I colored with all of the masks or stencils with the blending brush, and then die cut it and popped it up. So there's some layer and dimension with just that one flower. And then this one, it's kind of the same as that one. Again, I used all of the stencils on that one, but you can see all the pretty shading. So like I said, this stamp set is so versatile because you can just stamp the images, or you can color them any way you want, or color them with the stencils. Super easy, nice big flowers. I love it. Flowers are my favorite thing to stamp with. So make sure you check the links in the videos. There's quite a few down there so that you can check out the tutorial for the stamp set with the 8 video tutorial class, as well as a link to take you to the blog post where I'll have pictures of all these cards, as well as the supplies I used and all of the dimensions. So I hope you enjoyed this class. I hope you like making SIP cards as much as I do. It's quick, it's easy, and it's a great way to bless friends and family with a handmade card without a whole lot of work. So thanks for watching. We'll be stamping again real soon. Have a stamp happy day.